welcome back. And today we are discussing zoning part 2. Okay guys, so the first point for zoning part 2 is, are there size and height restrictions? That is very important for you to know. And why? Because you may not be able to build a multi-story building, and you may not be able to capitalize on the land usage. So I'll give you a great example. I was doing a project here in Needville, Texas. After having the pre-development meeting, we found out that the 3 stories was not allowed in that city, and they were only allowing 2 stories. Also, we found out that we had originally proposed 72 units on the land, and they are only allowing 30 to 35 units, which just completely destroys the project for the client, because it doesn't make sense for him to invest in a project. Now, how you can find this information out, just like we did, get your schematic drawings done and do a pre-development meeting. Who is important in a pre-development meeting? Of course, your city officials will be the ones who will schedule this meeting with you. Once you are ready to have the meeting, you will need your civil engineer, your architect, and of course yourself in that meeting to go over things. Now, it is not a total deal breaker if the city is not allowing it. You can always go through variance process. Every city's variance process is different. And of course, if it comes down to that, you will need to get that information on what their variance is looking like and go through the process. Second point, are there signage requirements? Signage is so important for a commercial building. So you want to know if there are certain sizes restrictions on your signage. Can you have your colored logo? Are there any color restrictions? Or do you have, can you have a monument sign or not for your retail centers or whatever your next development is? Now, how you can find that information out is through checking the city guidelines for signage. You can also, if you have an HOA, sometimes HOA will not let you have such a big monument sign. Of course, some cities will also restrict certain sizes of monument signs. And then of course, you can always do a DDR, which is due diligence report. We've talked about that over and over again, how important it is to get that information as well. All right, so the last point is, are there any setbacks on your property? Setbacks are usually either landscaping setbacks or they're building line setbacks, which means you cannot build on that specific area or past that area. And also a setback could be a landscaping setback, which means that you have to have, let's say, 10 foot of landscaping in front of your property. So that means your paving area will need to start afterwards. So if you're building anything on a tight piece of land which doesn't have that much room, that is something so important to know from the beginning. It's so important to know if you do have those setbacks, if you have those landscaping setbacks. Of course, the building line setbacks can easily be determined by a boundary survey, but the landscaping setbacks and things like that, which are driven from the city, you actually have to go visit city guidelines and look at city website for their landscaping requirements to make sure that if there are setbacks, how that would affect your development. Thank you so much for watching zoning part 2, and stay tuned for our videos. We upload videos weekly talking about commercial real estate and construction related to commercial real estate. Stay tuned, like, subscribe to our channel.